Hello. We are going through an interesting time. Trump signed an executive order. And how many of you are outraged? Just count them. Just count, really. Too much outrage. No point. Absolutely no point. Got. There is no point to being outraged over something so simple. I like messing with that. It's fun. I just don't see the point in it. If you're gonna be outraged over something so simple, what are you doing with your life? This is something that doesn't affect you. Why are you so concerned with it? It does not affect us. It affects 7 other countries, not us. Again, first world problems, right? Okay. Yeah, sure. You little cell phone warriors get something like this and then start complaining about every little thing. Deception. How do you like deception? Deception. I kinda like that. That's cool. Okay. Anyways, you get a little phone like this. Actually, this is quite a big phone. But still, you get the point. You get your 32 gig SD card, capable of storing most of the memes you'll ever encounter. You put it in there. Make sure your battery's still in here. Here, you got 48 gigabytes. And you got a phone, right? $100. Most households can give that easy. Even at the poverty line in this country, you have a cell phone. Smartphone nonetheless. That's because we're a developed country. So you're gonna complain about us not letting refugees from another country. Okay. Live in their country for 16 years and then tell us it's stable there. That's why we halted. This is not. This is not to cause any problems. This is not xenophobia. which is a word that doesn't make any sense because you're not afraid of other cultures. Okay? These so-called phobias don't make any sense. Like homophobia. What are you talking about? Why are you gonna just say someone is afraid of gay people? Irrationally afraid of them, at that. What's next? You're gonna say people are all afraid of trans people? No. They make fun of them. That is not being afraid. I make fun of clowns. Does that make me afraid of clowns? I make fun of Donald Trump. Does that make me afraid of Donald Trump? I make fun of Gary Johnson. Does that make me afraid of Gary Johnson? I make fun of Hillary Clinton. Although that might cause fear because people that make fun of her before have ended up dead. But point being, if I make fun of something, that does not mean I have an irrational fear of it. Now that that's out of the way, shut up about the immigration ban. Yes, it's an immigration ban, not a Muslim ban. Know your terminology. Now let's move on to the tech portion of this video. Dear butthurt Apple fans, shut up. I know you're jealous that phones still have these mysterious things called headphone jacks. And that's a jab at Apple, but still, this is not a downside to the Galaxy S8. It's actually an advantage to it. Stop calling it a downside when you clearly have no idea what you are talking about. I'm talking about 3 tech outlets that I've seen do this. Tech World and others. But guess what? There's a voice of reason. We call them you, the consumer. There are much more sales of phones that have headphone jacks than don't. Still, in fact, Apple's very steep growth kind of leveled a bit. Because they decided to take away another feature. Again. And they'll do it this year with the iPhone 8. Kind of stupid to think they're still making iPhones after how they've been screwing up. But you still find a decent phone for cheap. For the same price you are spending for an iPhone, you could purchase one of the more powerful phones on the market. You can. This is supposed. Like the OnePlus 3T. They might make a OnePlus 4 this year. We're hoping. I think the OnePlus 3T is a beast of a machine. You got that 8-core, 64-bit CPU in it, running at like 2.8 gigahertz. You got DDR4L. You got 6 gigs of DDR4 RAM on a cell phone. That's fast. Tremendously fast. Then you've got MMC storage, which is, again, fast. Faster than competitions. And then you've got a very long-lasting battery. Not to mention, these are handmade, so... Not to mention they are handmade. Not just something that's sitting in a warehouse, like this is. Would you look at that? That's what this webcam looks like. Anyways. With that beast of a machine, you'll beat out any iPhone Apple's going to have for the next 3 years. And you have a headphone jack to boot. Sure, Apple's simplicity is easy, but have you ever used Android 6? That's as simple as it gets. Android's not in its early days anymore. At Android 3, you might have had some difficulty, but most phones nowadays will have Android 6 or 7. Pretty soon they're going to have an all-new operating system, which I'm sure Google is going to polish very well. It's known as Andromeda. It's supposed to combine this Android with Chrome OS. Which is good in theory. Let's see how it goes. But for now, we've got Android 6 and 7. There's so many phones on Android 6, it's kind of hard to beat. Android 7 is getting its fair share of phones too. Lots of people own the Google Pixel. Lots of people own them. And the Google Pixel has so much simplicity. It's got a good camera too. Its simplicity is through the roof. It's because it's on Android 7. This video is getting long. Oh, Nintendo Switch. There's more tech news. Nintendo is releasing a new console. I'm sure you know. But no one really knows the CPU specs. Nor do we really know the RAM. We just know the resolution of the screen and the size of the screen. That's alarming. Considering the console launches in about 4.5 weeks. About a month. That's all. Nintendo is trying to build up hype without letting the competitors know what's in their machine. But as you got when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out, you will have these companies tearing it down to every last piece of it, trying to figure out the specs. The battery's good, but what happens when you put it under load? What happens when the console's a few years old and every phone has better batteries? What do you do then? Do you make a revision? Or do you just give up the console business? To even turn a profit this generation for Nintendo, they had to combine both their console markets. Both of them. Because home console's not as profitable to them anymore. But the portable stuff, oh, that stuff is so profitable. It's not even funny. This is an irritating thing. But they're charging you for online play. Way to go. Good to know I'm not purchasing a Switch. Good to know. Steam, since its inception, has not asked for you to pay a dime to play the games you already own. In fact, there are several free-to-play games. Several. Some of them have really good free-to-play models. But make it to where you never needed the other ways of playing. Whatever I'm trying to say. Why am I running this at 35 frames per second when the camera only records at 30? Oh, okay, I lost track of that. Also, YouTube's only going to process it at 30 because I didn't make a 60 frames per second video. But I digress. Why is Nintendo charging for online? Because Xbox and PlayStation got away with it. But the only place where they were going to find success was for people that owned a PC that just wanted to play Nintendo games. Gone. because they don't pay for online. Fucking gone. Got it? Your console will be emulated quicker than ever before. The ARM architecture is not something hard to get your little mind wrapped around. Android's been running on it for a very long time. Since its inception, actually. We had Android 1. We're all the way up to Android 7. These phones, they have ARM chips in them. The NVIDIA Shield tablet, Shield TV, actually have a very similar processor to what you're going to put in there. Nintendo. You're going to find it very, very tough to sell this console once you start charging for online. Which means summer of 2018 is when your sales will drop. I wish you the best until then. But just know, I will not purchase your console. I will purchase your games, likely, just so I can emulate them. Goodbye, Nintendo. Also, goodbye to all you viewers. Sorry about the haircut thing. Why am I apologizing for that? I don't need to justify myself. But I seem to be getting better set up. I don't think that it's within my best interest to use that camera anymore. But, because it's not really easy to lug that thing around. This Logitech thing. It's really easy to make stuff with a webcam. I might need to go and get a new microphone, however. But that's not a big deal. I might get an upgrade for the webcam because look at this. This is 480p. I was doing 720p before, but I'm going for a 1080p. And don't ever use a webcam's microphone. This one, for instance, will make you sound like you're underwater. Now, let us know what you think about what we've said today.